Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another lesson video for the violin. So we are going to have a total of 5 videos and this is our third one. So let's get started. So today we're going to learn how to actually play your fingering on the violin. Before we have learned the notes, we've learned the strings, we've learned how to hold a violin, we've learned how to hold a bow, and we've learned about a book which is called the Suzuki book. So here I have my violin and it's tuned, and here I have the bow and it's all rosined up. So when you hold the violin, everybody knows it's, okay, let me move this so you guys can see. I'll move this over here. So when you have a violin, you know that you're supposed to, your hand, your shoulder should be like this, and this is the curved part, so that it'll be easier for you because, like that, you can easily rest over here. And then when your hand, instead of being like this, caved in, it should be out here. And your bow, your pinky should be on top and like this, and then you should be ready to play. Usually you should be standing up to play, but right now, when you're first practicing, you can just like sit down, but standing up is much better because it's better for your posture. So if you sit like this and you want to do your stuff, right, you should see like my arm is going extended, straight. So there's lots of things called like staccato, legato. I'll teach you guys that when we start actually playing music. But today we're just going to be doing scales, which is basically putting the fingers on where we're supposed to put the fingers. Like I said in my last video, I told you guys that if you're going to get a violin or anything, you guys should just ask the people that you're buying the violin from to put the tapes on. And if you can't get the tapes on, you should try and go to like a music store, or you should try to go to another music store that offer private lessons, because then the private lesson teachers, they can just like put these on. I don't think you have to pay anything, probably just like maybe like a $5 or something just to put this on, but yeah. So it'll be a lot easier because you know this is D major scale. I played it normally, which is how it's supposed to go, without vibrato, and you have to use your 4th finger when you're going back. But then the second one, I added a little rhythm to it, so you could hear like dun 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 dun, and then you can see my hand going dun dun dun. So you don't want your hand to be stiff. You don't want it to, when you're playing, you don't want your hand to go like this. You want it to go smoothly. Stiffly, that's actually something that people do in violin. It's called staccato. So if you want to play something, you could go. But even then, you can see that my hand is at least moving a little easily. It's not like dun dun dun. Because when you're doing that, your voice, it's not going to sound as clean. It's going to sound all messy, and it's not going to sound good at all. It's like this. When you push too hard, it's going to go onto other strings and sound terrible. So you always want it to sound like, for your hands to be a little motion. And then there's a thing called legato, which is where your movements are going to be a lot more connected. So like this. So let's first learn what these notes are basically called, because when you're reading sheet music, you're like, E, what is an E? All I learned was D, A, G, and E. Well, oh wait, this is a different type of E. But like, you could see a note in your sheet music and you'll see F, but then you'll be confused because the only strings that you know is this, 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 and this. But in music, when you put your fingers on here, they're actually like names for these, and it's a lot of names, but they all like repeat. So it starts off with G, and then you basically just go like that, G, A, B, C. So it never goes over G. So it's like, let's get closer to here. So if you see this is the G string, because you can see that this is super thin, so it's the E string, right? So if you do this, G string is over here. So if you put your finger over here, this is called A. It's only one, you're only using one finger to play. And when you're playing, don't put your hand over here, like don't do this because it's not gonna sound good at all. So this is A with one finger. And then this is B with two fingers. This is C with three fingers. And then you could either play this with which is D, or instead you could just play the D string, which it's gonna sound the same. But when you start playing stuff, when you like get more advanced, people usually want you to play this because it's not gonna sound as like creaky as the other ones are gonna sound. So let's review. This is G without any fingers. A, B, C, D, or D. Let me play that out for you. G, A, B, C, D. So that's basically all of them. And when you're playing notes, there are lots of things like low Bs and highs, and you can like learn that after when you like figure out how to do normal ones without like the lows and non-lows. So let's practice that again. G, or you could do staccato. So then we're off to our D. So you can notice like it starts with G here. Like I said, it never goes over G. So if you're already at G, then it's just gonna go back to A. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now that's back to G in the D string, it's gonna go to A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So that's basically it. So let's go to the D string now. So this is the D string because it's the least lowest, the second lowest. So if you do it, this is the D string, that's just D. If you click it over, if you put it over here, this would be E. Over here, two fingers would be F. This would be G. So D, E, F, G. These are what these called. When you guys get your violin, you're gonna have tapes over here, so you're gonna know like that where to put your fingers. But I already know because I've done this for a long time, and when you guys do it for a long time, you're gonna get used to it too. So D, E, F, G. Let me play that out for you. D, E, F, and G. And then if you want to play the fourth finger, that would be A. Like in over here, if you play the fourth finger, it's D. So over here, because the next string is an A, so it's gonna be. And if you want to play your fourth finger, you can just like see if you're doing it right. You can play the fourth finger, and then you can play the A to see if it sounds similar. If it doesn't, then you're playing it wrong. Okay, so that was our D. Let's just play from G to D. So first, let's start with G. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So you saw how it went with G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But now that we're at G again with the D string, we're going to go to A because you can't go over G in this. In the violin, it usually just stays in the A to G. So this is the A string. So since we ended on G here, it's going to be A. So A, and then what comes after A? B. So A, B, which is one finger. Two fingers would be C, and then three fingers would be D. A, B, C, D. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. So it's super simple. I'll play all of them again. G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then D. So that's all we learned. Then we're going to go to the E string, which is going to be like the same thing over again. It's going to be like the same thing was over here, but it's going to start from here. So now that we're at E right now, because we ended at D on the A string, so now it's gonna be E. Then you put one finger, it's gonna be F. The other finger is gonna be G, and then it's gonna be A. E, F, G, A. E, F, G, A. And then you're gonna learn shifting, which is basically you're going even more downwards, and that's like for more advanced things, like you have to like be playing for a long time to learn that. So let's play the whole thing. So when we're learning the D major scale, it's basically going to consist of the D string and the A string. We're going to use our finger position so that we can learn. When you guys get it, it's going to be you're going to want to put your fingers right on the tapes. You don't want to put it too front, you don't want to put too back. You want your finger right on the tapes. Like since these are the only tapes I have right now, and if I want to play something, instead of going like this, because it's going to sound wrong, I have to put it right on there. Otherwise, the sound it's going to be not right. So for the D major scale, you're going to put your finger on every single tape. You don't have to put it forward. In some scales, there are actually going to be times where you have to put it before the tape or after the tape. But in the D major scale, since it's like a really simple scale, it's just going to be your finger on every single tape for D and A. So we're going to start with D. Then you're going to go to E. Then you're going to go to F. Same thing on the tape. Then G. Then you go to A, and you go to B, C, and D. And then you go backwards because you're gonna go da 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 da. So then you're at D right now, so you're gonna play that again. Then you're gonna go F, not F, C, then B, A, G, F, E, D. So that's just like a really simple version, but when you have to learn correct terms are basically you have to play D only once, and the end when you go instead of going 2 Ds, instead of going you can just do 1 D. And so basically that's one thing. You can either play 2 Ds or 1 D, but you should really just play 1 D. And the second thing is when you're coming backwards, I told you about the fourth finger, right? Which you don't really use when you're beginning. You use that once you start to get more advanced. So when you start to get more advanced, you're gonna play like this. Since like I said, you don't use the fourth finger that much unless you're advanced. But I am pretty advanced, but I'm still so used to playing the D scale without putting the fourth finger, and like almost every single time, the first time, I always mess it up, which is so annoying because teacher's like, no, you messed it up. And I'm like, dang it, because I'm just so used to it. So I guess like, so basically this is how it's supposed to sound. I messed it up again, so. Hear what I did. So instead of playing the A string when I was coming backwards, when I did da 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 da, instead of playing this, I put 4 fingers down here and did this. So that it wouldn't be like because that's what how you're supposed to play it. So play that one more time, and then you guys can send me a video of how you played it, and then I'll watch. So that's how we play the D major scale, and there are a lot more scales. There's a C major scale, and then there are lots of scales, and you can learn them all, but this is just like one of the simplest ones that people learn when they first try to play violin. So we learned this thing, and so let's just review what we learned. We learned where our fingers go on the violin, and we learned the D major scale. So this was our video for today. We're gonna have 2 more videos until we finally finish to learn the basics of the violin, and I really hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye!